All right, guys. Hello. How you are doing? Happy Sunday. So I just wanted to share with you this quick recipe of mine. It's an oat bake, and I used two bananas for this. And I wanted something healthy for my breakfast. So it's kind of healthy, but anyway, if you want to know how I made this, I'm just gonna show it to you now. So here I'm just showing you how nice and soft it is. It just came out of the air fryer. Yes, I use my air fryer. I know. So you don't really need to use your oven for all your baking. Your air fryer is very, very handy for little things like this. And this took about 35 minutes to bake. So I'm going to show you how I made them. And I made two different ones. One was with cranberries, and then one was just mixed in with the cranberries, and then the other one was topped with cranberries. So in the next slide, I'm just going to show you how I made this. So let's go. Now, in the bowl, you're going to mash two bananas. And here you see me mashing it, mashing. Now, you want it to be really nice and soft. So you have to mash it until it's a little bit sloppy, just like so. And then you're going to add two eggs. And the eggs, you are going to beat them, okay? And try not to add your eggs directly into your banana, just in case you've got shells that falls into your egg. So I'm going to just beat these eggs and I'm going to add it into my batter. And then once I've done that, I'm going to mix. And then once it's incorporated very well, then I'm going to add a little bit of sugar, brown sugar. And to be honest, I didn't really need to add the sugar because it wasn't too sweet, but for me, it was kind of sweet. But I only added like 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. And I really just wanted it for color and a little bit of sweetness because this is going to be breakfast, okay? And I want that kick, that punch in the morning. So this is me just showing you here. I'm going to add the eggs now. In goes the eggs and nothing wastes. Okay, so we're going to scrape. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. Okay, in this house, we don't waste nothing. And with the cost of living, you can't afford to waste anything, right? So yeah, so this is me using my fingers to make sure I scrape every little thing in there. Okay. And I think there I was just washing my hands to make sure they're clean before I come back. Yep. So I'm gonna whisk. This is me whisking away here. And you want to whisk it until it's fully incorporated into the banana mixture. So in there for right now we just have the banana and the two eggs. So next I'm gonna add some sugar. That's me getting the sugar. Okay, no. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to blend my oats. So I used 1 cup of oats here, and it's the rolled oats, okay? Not the instant oats. You want the rolled oats because you want some consistency in your batter. So I'm getting it ready here, and I'm going to blend it with my hand blender, not for too long. And I'm also going to add salt as well, and I'm going to add some baking powder and some bicarbonate of soda. You'll see this shortly. There we go. Blend. Not for too long. You don't want it too fine. Just a quick blend would do. That's all done there. Okay. Take off the blade. Be careful so you don't cut your fingers. There we go. That's what you're looking for. Okay. And then I'm gonna add my baking powder, like I said, and my bicarbonate of soda. And these are your rising agents as well. And I used half a teaspoon each. That's me adjusting my station to make sure it looks nice. Don't mind me, guys. All right, so there goes in the baking powder, half a teaspoon. Next, bicarbonate of soda, another half a teaspoon as well. Okay, and I'm just showing you the measurement there. And next, I'm going to add some salt because of the oats, so you need to add a little bit of salt. But before I add the salt, I'm going to give it a good mix. So you're going to use a dry spatula. So these are my dry ingredients, okay? I think I went to get the salt here. Yep. So add some sea salt. To be honest, I didn't measure this. I just eyeballed it. Yeah. So not too much. Okay. In goes the salt. And I'm going to give it a mix as well. Yep. There we go. These are my dry ingredients. Okay. And I'm going to add that to my wet in a second. So I get my bowl over. So in there I have sugar, eggs, and the banana. Oh yeah, and then I added some oil. So in this case, I'm not using butter. I use some extra virgin oil, but you can use whichever oil you want, or you can use butter as well. It doesn't really matter. Okay. You need that to bind it together. Okay. So mix, mix, mix. Oh my God, look at that color. That looks so pretty already. And it's not even cooked yet. It looks gorgeous if I say so myself. And then I added some vanilla extract just for some smell, for some flavor. Okay. And this one as well, I just eyeballed it to be honest. Mix, mix, mix. Okay. And then let's see what I do next here. Yeah, so now I'm adding my dry ingredients. You can just dump it all in really. You don't really need to, it's not like a cake or anything. It's more or less like a muffin. And then you're gonna make sure it's incorporated very well here. You're gonna mix it very well. Mix, mix, mix. Okay. And oh yes, and then I added some dried cranberries here. You can add any dried fruit you have, to be honest. You could add apricots, you could add raisins, but I have dry cranberries. So I said I added 1 teaspoon of sugar. To be honest, you don't need it because the cranberries is sweetened already because it's dried. So that will also give it some sweetness as well. Okay. And then you will see in a second. So one batch I cooked just like this with the cranberries inside the batter. And then another one, I topped the batter with some cranberries. And you know what? It gave the muffin a crunch because what happened was in the air fryer, the cranberries got dry, so it was a bit crunchy. So it's kind of nice because you have different textures in your mouth. When you're eating it with your coffee or with your tea or with your warm milk for breakfast. So it's really nice. So I'm using this silicone molds that I got from Lidl a long time ago. These are like cupcake molds, they're silicone. So I'm going to do 5 because I don't want the shape to get messed up. And like I said, I'm using my air fryer. I'm not using the oven, but you can use the oven if you want. Yeah. And then make sure though you don't add the batter in the cupcake molds before you put it into your air fryer because I made that mistake before and it was really hard to put it into the air fryer. So I got my measuring cup because it's a little bit not hard, but you have to use a technique to put in the butter so it doesn't spill everywhere. And you want to make sure you're getting, the cranberries because the cranberries are a bit heavy, so they sink to the bottom of the butter. So you want to mix, 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 so that way, the butter has some cranberries in each of the cupcakes, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to fill this in, and I'll be back. And the next slide that you're going to see, you are going to see the finished product. So yeah, so that's the first batch going in without the topped cranberries. And then the next batch will be topped with the cranberries. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know in the comment section if this is something that you would try, if that you would recreate. It's really simple, isn't it? And it doesn't take that long and it's healthy. Yeah. So yep, so that's me here setting my air fryer to the cupcake and it's for 50 minutes at 140 degrees. Yeah. Anyway, take care guys and I love you guys and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.